Hello everyone.
Hi.
And welcome to our special celebration evening of our RP Gathering Week. And my name's Christine, and my co-focalizer.
My name is Dominique.
So thank you all for being here, and let's just start with a few quiet moments just to tune in. And so in this silence, just connecting with that heart space within us, and just welcoming ourselves and welcoming each other into the hall for this evening of celebration and connection, and just feeling the heart of this center, the spirit of this center that we all represent and connect with and embody in our own unique way. Thank you. So, we've had this week-long gathering, and Dominique and I would just like to share a little bit with you. Many of you might be wondering who the RPs are or what the RPs do. So, of course, you know, from those early days, the founders always represented these very strong pillars, but even from the early days, they went out and they shared about the spirit of Findhorn out in the world. So, in some form or other, the kind of what we call the RP network today, our global network of resource people, has been part of our heritage from the very beginning. And we're part of this global family that is all over the world. And this week we've had 25 RPs from 13 or 14 different countries, I can't remember in this moment. And we've had this lovely experience of exploring our diversity and coming together and really finding our unity as well. And and what I love about the RPs is how they all embody this role in their own unique way. Some of them, I mean, they're all listed on the website. Some respond to emails and phone calls, and people that are thinking of coming here, people that have come here and then go back out into the world and want to make that connection, keep that connection alive. Some of them hold regular meditations, sacred dance, games. Some of them are game facilitators. Some of them hold Taste of Findhorn evenings. There's just so many different ways. Some of them bring groups here for Experience Week. And so this evening is very much an opportunity for you to get to know, well, who are they? And and so maybe, I don't know, is there anything you'd like to add?
You know, and because I became an RP in 2008, and I was here part of the last RP gathering, it was really also for me a pleasure to welcome them as friends. And it's really those friendship and the support, the mutual support between the RPs and Findhorn, which is celebrated here tonight.
Yes. So, yes, we'd like to, Peter's going to lead us in a dance. We'd like, those of you that would like to come down and join in, just to get an opportunity to mix a little bit. And we're going to have a dance just to start the evening. So, over to Peter, wherever he is.
Yes. It's time to dance. That means we have to make a circle on the floor. Everything. Right, thank you very much, Ian. Bit louder, please. Here we go.
form a semicircle around the candle flame. So this is just a few representatives of our network, which is actually 171 people in 31 countries. And over the last 12 months, we've been going through an attunement process with all the RPs. And so the network is completely up to date, completely engaged. I'm in touch with all of them. And these lovely representatives came to join us for the week. But imagine that this group, if it was 7 times more than this, that would be every RP standing in the room. And so now I'm going to pass the microphone round, and everyone's going to just say a few words just to introduce themselves to you all. So maybe, do you want to say anything more?
So, as I started, you know, it was after 1 year, spending 1 year here at the Findhorn Foundation, that I felt really the call to become an RP. And for me it was a journey, because it was embodying more in my daily life the connection with Findhorn in Belgium. And it's interesting because even though that I am in a way not an RP anymore, because since last year I am now living in community guest focalizer with Elizabeth, and it's a pleasure for me to really having stepped into the core of the Findhorn Foundation. But I'm still bringing people from Belgium here because my friends now want to visit me and come sometimes also to do Experience Week. So it's a never-ending process of just connecting here with the world and everywhere around us, because the world needs so much what we experience here. And for me, it's a gift of this week to reconnect with the spirit of the resource person network.
Thank you. And just to, I can't remember if I said my name before, but if I didn't, so my name's Christine, and I've had the great joy of being the RP focalizer for the last 18 months. And I know there's a few previous RP focalizers here. Vera held the role and Rosie, you held the role over time. And so through this sharing, we're also going to give you a little bit of an insight into the week that we've had. So I'll keep passing on.
Thank you, Dana. I'm Wies. I'm from the Netherlands, from Amsterdam. And I've been coming here since '92. And I don't exactly remember when I started to be an RP, but I've been for at least 18 years, I think. And Findhorn to me is a place I love to come back to. I feel as my spiritual home. And I've said more than once to many of you people out there that I feel I belong here. I'm part of you, and I do represent you I've done in many different ways. And the last years mostly, I've done it through playing intuitive solutions, which I find a very, very good tool to get people together and to bring the message of awareness and consciousness. And that is definitely what I've learned here. And I'm grateful for it, and I'm very happy with it, and I want to celebrate.
I'm Erica from Belgium, but I'm German. And I have been an RP since 1987. I came for my Experience Week in '86. And it's been a long journey and a love story with Findhorn also. And I have always considered that I was coming home when I came here. I've never felt the call to stay here longer. I've always felt that I needed what I got here to take it home to my friends at home. And so I have really been coming for 27 years now. And it's always a great pleasure to be here And especially this year, it has been a very deep experience that we have gone through. And we also played the game of transformation, which was a wonderful experience, and we all enjoyed it. And our angel of the game was celebration, and mine was enthusiasm. So we have really had a wonderful party, and I was lucky enough to have a miracle. And when I was asked what would be a miracle for me, I said what I would really love would be that if every person could talk to the other person from their divine inside and to the divine in the other person. That will make definitely more peace in the world. So I hope we can realize that, and that this miracle will, radiate out into the world. Also, thanks to Findhorn, I have become a breatharian or pranarian, or however you wish to call it, because after reading Eileen's Opening Doors Within for 12 years, every single day, and applying it into practice, I suddenly found myself in a place where I thought, my goodness, I'm always happy now, and I'm not even hungry and thirsty anymore. And so I was wondering what to do with that. And so finally I asked around, and finally somebody told me about Jasmuheen, the woman from Australia who's teaching that, and I met her, and a year later I went and became breatharian. Yeah.
Does that mean you're now living on life alone?
Yes. I do sometimes eat for pleasure.
Sorry?
I do sometimes eat for pleasure and for social reasons. But I'm never hungry nor thirsty.
My name is Ole. I'm from Denmark, and recently I also have had a home at East Winds. I've been an RP for about 20 years.
My name is Susanna. I'm married to Ole, and I've been coming here since 95, 94. And I've been an RP for about 8 years now. And we do trauma work around in the world, and we're very occupied with bringing peace into each and every one. And we use whatever we are learning here. And I want to tell you that even though, now I know I'm putting myself into being a part of the community here, that it's not always easy to be here, because it's such a power place. It's worthwhile, you're really making a change out in the world. We're meeting people that have been here maybe for an experience week 20 years ago, and it totally changed their lives. And I really want you to take that in, even though it can be hard struggle sometimes. You're doing a great work, and we are doing our best to support your beautiful work out in the world. Thank you.
Hello, I am Judith from Toronto, Canada, and I have been an RP for about 18 years. First time coming for the gathering. This time I come back many times to Findhorn, but this time I brought a new friend. And my new friend is my cane, of which it's been difficult to bring out. He's been in the closet for a while, though I can't see very well. It's getting past the stigma and actually making my way to the light. And so it's all about light. And because of that, I am planning to bring a group from Canada and hopefully other places in the world, people who are blind and visually impaired, to come for an experience week, and hopefully working with Building Bridges and with the guest department to make that happen sooner than later, in the fall, we hope. Thank you.
My name is Dennis. I'm American living in the south of France. I represent the Findhorn Foundation there. I've been an RP for 22 years, and what I do as an RP is give regular Findhorn meditations with angel cards, And when the group is sizable enough, I hold Taste of Findhorn weekends in the Drome Mountains for those groups. Recently, it was about last year, I think, I sent a French painter here who is a woman painter who is looking for a retreat, and she wanted a retreat over Christmas and New Year's. And I sent her here. I said, this is probably the best place to be. And on faith, she came. And when she got back, she called me immediately and just said, Dennis, I hope this flame in my heart doesn't go out.
My name is Iris. I'm from Israel. And I did my experience week in 2008, and since then been coming every summer for LCG or for workshops. Became an RP about a year and a half ago, and my interest is working with communities, so I'm introducing Findhorn to kibbutz communities, which are going through a tremendous change in the last decade. They're very interested, and my Hebrew site, internet site, generates a lot of attention. And I'm constantly asked, what can Findhorn teach us? And I'm saying it's not the sustainable living, it's not the organic farming, although you are leaders in this area, but so are we. It's the compassion and the conflict resolution and the acceptance and not eating each other alive and some other community qualities that I think we should learn. And we are now organizing our first experience week. 6 kibbutzim asked me to organize a group from the north of Galilee. If anybody knows Israel, that's sort of a county. And hopefully at the end of August we'll have our first group. First one.
Hello, my name's Sara. I've been coming and going from Edinburgh to Findhorn since 1994. But I'm quite a new RP. I was an RP for a while, and then I decided to release that. Then there was an RP gathering, and afterwards, in some strange way, the emails kept coming to me, and I thought, that's interesting, I've actually released this. And then after a few weeks of this, I suddenly thought, maybe there's a message in this. Went to talk to Christine, who encouraged me to step into the role of RP. And as Edinburgh is the capital city of Scotland, it actually felt important for Edinburgh to have an RP. So I carry that role at the moment. As you'll hear from my voice, I'm not born Scottish, but I call myself an adopted Scot and feel that Scotland's adopted me. Now, I've been asked to, if I say about my role in Edinburgh, a lot of you know me, so I'm not going to say very much apart from the fact that I go back to Edinburgh every month. I have a healing centre in Edinburgh. Healing is my work, and creating healing spaces and offering healing ceremonies. And I think healing has an enormous contribution to make in terms of world peace. I've been asked to say a couple of words about our angel, group angel, this week, who's also the angel for the RP network for this coming year, and that's the angel of harmony. And we all felt that this was very appropriate for our very international, very diverse group. And I think I'd like to say a couple of lessons that came through the week about harmony and what helps to create harmony. What I noticed personally was I got very attached to a particular idea, and I wasn't the only person that got attached to an idea. But there came a moment when I actually consciously released that, and sometimes I think to consciously release something that we personally feel is important, we might personally feel very passionate about, but because there's a greater need there, and the need is for harmony or for peace. And I also feel that harmony in our group was most present at times when we were silent together. So I totally honour the gift that Findhorn brings of that consciousness that we often meet most deeply at the level of the heart and the soul in the silence. My name is Elinor, and I became an RP 28 years ago and hosted Eileen Caddy in Bristol, where I was living. And then I was drawn to Ireland because William Bloom and some other people were setting up a spiritual community in Donegal with a base over the border in Derry. So as an English person with English troops on the streets, I was there in Ireland. And now I live in the southeast of Ireland in Kilkenny, and I am an RP for the southeast of Ireland, but I have 3 great friends who I met in Ireland, including Liz, who lives in Kilkenny, who's there with us, so we have a real Irish Kilkenny-based person. Whilst I've been here, I'm getting texts from my friend Mazaka Bai, who is Congolese living in Kilkenny, and I have other friends from the Sudan and Zimbabwe, different places living in Kilkenny, and I really wish to bring them to the foundation, maybe as part of the news story. I'm aware the Eco-Village Network is that Robin is in Africa at the moment, and I've learned such a lot of joy and how to live with simplicity from my African friends. I also am passionate about the Transition Network, and I feel a lot of us here are involved in the Transition Network as well. So all these fantastic networks can link with the RP network.
I'm Eliane from France. I live in Strasbourg. I've been an RP for about 20 years. I first came in 1987 and have come back ever since. And I really feel honored to serve this center of light.
I am Mario from the Netherlands and lived in Saudi Arabia when I was a child. I'm an RP for 3 years and I'm coming here 10 years, and I love Findhorn and love to be part of the global family.
I'm Rob from the Netherlands. I'm just married with Mario, and as such I became a co-RP since the beginning of this week.
Kia ora, greeting everybody. I'm Ara, I'm from New Zealand. I first came to Findhorn in 1992. I came for 5 weeks, stayed for 5 months, went home as an RP and a game facilitator, and I've been returning quite often because, you know, being such a distance away, it's hard to find Findhorn people in New Zealand. So I come back here for some spiritual support and just reminding and listening to the way you attune and work together. It just helps me stay on track as well.
My name is Françoise and I'm French, and I also represent the United States, at least the East Coast, New England. I live in Boston, between Boston and the French Alps, and I've been here. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. I've been here I first came here 20 years ago, RP a long time, became a member for 3 years. And it's very important to me to apply what I learn. So being out in the world, it's apply Findhorn spirit, applying conscious evolution, applying who we are. We talked about RP as in we are present, and I think that's a lot what we do. And this week the gathering was so beautiful, powerful, mature, skillful, enthusiastic, joyful. It was just a blessing to be here. I also want to mention a couple of things that we are doing and beginning to organize as RP related to the 70th anniversary of D-Day in Normandy, which is coming up as an opportunity to heal the land and the people and the history, and some of us are going to be there. So we are very present, active, involved, each one in our way and to the extent of our abilities, with great enthusiasm and pleasure and wisdom. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Irene from Germany, Lake Constance area, which is very international because it's the natural border between Switzerland, Austria and Germany. And I've been drawn into the Resource People Network just recently after the 50th anniversary, where I visited as an ex-member. I lived here from 88 to 91. And I just felt like I want to strengthen the connection and also to strengthen the network of light by coming into the RP network. And I just enjoyed this week so much because there was so much celebration, so much fun, so much harmony. And especially I felt very kind of embraced because there was my friend Judith coming from Canada. I'm vision impaired and she is vision impaired, and it was just great to see somebody else finding a way of light, even though the outer light is getting a bit more dim. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Norbert. I'm married with Irene, and last time I had been here at the 50th birthday, and we both feel we want to be more connected with this place, with Findhorn. And in the beginning of this group, we have the angel of harmony comes to us, and the angel shows us to live in harmony, and so I will go show it the people in the place I live. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kathryn Hudson. I grew up in the States and I have an Irish passport, but I'm the RP for Paris in France. Very, very French. I move in the world as a practitioner and teacher of angelic co-creation, and I work as a Reiki or universal energy teacher. And I must tell you that it's a lot easier to be out there doing that kind of work, knowing that you're all here. Thank you.
My name is Granville. I've been an RP for 38 years. I need to explain a little of the developing new story for the RPs. And it takes me right back to the first day of my birth, in which I was born a blue baby, not expected to live for the day. The blue baby means that the negative, positive aspects of the bloodstream reacted, and of course it was fatal if it had remained. I had a blood transfusion on that first day from my father, but spent then the next 6 months in isolation in a steam tent because of disease, infection, and found myself skipping back and forth between life and life before life. That experience cemented in my very young, immature brain a connection that's remained for me to explore and develop with, which took about 20 to 30 years. And then I became involved with Findhorn, which immediately put me in contact with like-minded souls, or people at least knew what I was talking about when I explained the heavenly realms and all the different individuals, guides, angelic beings, and whoever else needs to get involved in the process. That brings me to the present day and the RP gathering, which began a Saturday morning in the main sanctuary at the park. The angel of Findhorn's essence entered my being and has remained there ever since. It's a new experience as such with the Angel of Findhorn, but one of the developing processes of that essence was a build-up of energy in my being, an energy that built to almost unmanageable proportions by Sunday evening when the RPs began to share, and we began to realise just how diverse we were. We weren't reaching any common pattern. And of course that evening I went home to my bed, which is local at the moment, and of course the next day we managed to express a little energy in the song and the dance and the games. Thank you, Neil and Rosie. And that led us into Tuesday, where the energy began to balance itself a little. We had free time and we were able to express ourselves, get to know each other a bit better, and began the game on the Wednesday. So this is when the heat really came on, because up to coming to Findhorn, I'd been working with a group back in South Yorkshire for about 3 years, developing individually as well as a group. And we found ourselves working with our local angel, which we call Montgomery, after the place where we meet, who was leading us through different avenues of the inner levels, carrying out cleansing, helping to remove some of the stubborn thought forms that were keeping people bound, and perhaps been there for many, many years. The whole process came to fruition just before Christmas, and we were left with the impression that the residue remaining was just there, waiting for the right time, the right hour. And of course, I bring you back to the present day and to the game of transformation. About an hour before we began, I had this horrendous cleansing process go through my whole being. Every last little iota of fear, of guilt, every memory that I've always tried to put to the back of the mind came into my face fully, and I found myself having no option but to completely release everything I could possibly, and do everything possibly I could do in order to achieve that, which thankfully by the time the game of transformation began, I was in a reasonable state to be able to take part. When it came to the fourth play, again I knew that I would be picked, and I also knew that I would pick an angel, which occurred, and it became the birth of the group to the next evolutionary level. What was not particularly evident to the rest of the group was at that stage the energy had built up to such a crescendo. The angel of Cluny had joined me and had saw my own angel from South Yorkshire, which with much deliberation and contemplation since, and the very clear vision I had at the time that we reflected upon that angel in a short attunement, was shown a group of angels collecting in a circle. The angel of Findhorn, the angel of Cluny, the Montgomery angel, and angels coming in from all parts of the world, connecting and joining their brethren, completing a circle. And great celebration was taking place, which was the name of the angel that we drew at that moment. And so from that we continued the game, but what was significant the next day in the sanctuary back at the park was a final vision shown, which was a circle of very beautiful crystalline eggs, one for each RP around the world, and a pair of empty shoes in the centre of them. and of course was told that each RP must choose to put those shoes on, to take that egg, and to go out and to birth, using the qualities that the colours of the crystal egg represented, in order to develop and evolve the place where they live. And of course, there is a considerable amount of detail and information surrounding all these events, which I agreed to be the scribe of, and which is being progressively posted on the RP network, the Facebook page, should you need to have more information. Thank you.
My name is Mana. I'm from Tokyo, Japan. There's many people I know because we work together for a Japanese group. And I came here first time as my experience week in 2004. And since then, I came here almost every year as my own workshop and also taking a group from Japan since 2008. I became RP in 2012 after 50th birthday of Findhorn. And the reason why I'm doing this work is actually in personal level, all of my family are saved by Findhorn through each of us have gone the experience week, and it helps us really transformation of each level, and it's really helpful to make our family healthier. So that is my basic reason why to do this work. And socially, as you know, Japan had a very big tragedy. I mean, from the earthquake and the radiation incident. I mean, so still we are seeking for the solution for the radiation impact, and also after the recovery of tremendous loss in northern area of Japan. And I think I can bring many messages from Findhorn to Japan as with the compassion you have in Findhorn, and also the way you're living here. So, I mean, I'm sorry. Well, after the disaster, we also have a very positive action in Japan. Now more than 40 transition town movement is going on, and people are really seeking how to make it better. No. And I believe the history of Findhorn and also keep going experiment, and also I think you also go through the challenge as a community. All of those things we can learn from you. So this is the reason why I bring people from Japan to Findhorn, and also I want to bring things to Japan. Thank you.
My name is Haniel. I'm French, but I have been the RP for Birmingham, UK for 4 years, and now have moved to Greece. And I am the RP for the small island of Patmos in the Dodecanese. And I've brought you a stone from Patmos to entice you to come to visit. It is a small island that has been twinned for perpetuity with Glastonbury, that you're possibly familiar with. And it is a place of pilgrimage, that's where St. John received the revelation in the cave of the Apocalypse. And St. John's message was very much about creating the city of light, a city of transparency, where people could be authentic and have a foundation of 12 stones and very grounded into the world. So I felt that there was a symbolism as well that could talk to people in Findhorn. I feel that my role as RP is to inspire people to come and visit you, help as well with outreach programs in Greece, in Athens as well, with my friend Panos, who is an RP for Athens. But I really would like to say that I'm extremely grateful for the work you're doing and the energy you're holding here, even though it's not easy to live here. We are visiting and we're taking a lot, and I hope that in our small ways we can bring you some of our gratitude. Thank you. And I would like, if it's okay with everybody, to put the stone of Patmos in the center.
Hello, I'm Graham. I've been an RP for about 12 years. I'm probably better known as a bus driver, because I lived there until fairly recently. Now I'm an RP for Lancashire.
Hello, I'm Annalise, and I thought I was the newest RP represented here, but I think Rob's just beaten me. I became an RP in September, and I'm the RP for Leeds in Yorkshire. And given that there are so many people living here in the RP group, I thought we should really put the white rose of Yorkshire up on the flags with all the rest. Okay, and that I'm still learning. I'm going to find out more about RPs as we go on.
Hello, I'm Corinne from the south of England, and I came here 33 years ago. I lived here for 4.5 years in the early 90s, and I've been a resource person for 18 years. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. I'm Rebeca, and this is Artur from Portugal. First time I came to Findhorn was in 2006 to do the training for the transformation game. That's how I heard about Findhorn, and since then I've been coming here once or 2 times a year. And I became RP in 2010, and by that time I thought about coming and live here. And I had that idea, but at the same time I realized that that was not what was being asked. What was being asked, and actually what comes out of me is to take Findhorn with me in my daily practice, in my daily living. And that's what I do with my work. I do the game in a regular basis in Portugal, and every time I do the game I feel I take Findhorn with me. And it's I feel very blessed for that, because Findhorn has given me a direct connection through my heart, a deepening connection. And this is Artur, and he came with me this time, and it's been a blessing to be here with him, and thank you.
Thank you, Rebeca. So hopefully this has given you a little bit of a sense of the great diversity and experience and many, many years of connection with the foundation and community, from our lovely elders all the way through to our very youngest member. And we'd like to move into a time you might have some questions, or and you might also have more. You might like to know, stay more in touch with the RPs. So please feel free to contact me, rp@findhorn.org. We'd really love to encourage more engagement and connection between the community and the RPs out in the world. So come and talk to Dominique and I at any time, or look onto the website under Contact Us. You'll find a page called Findhorn People Near You. And but before we move into a time of maybe questions or anything you'd like to ask the RPs, Annalise is going to lead us in a song which came up in our game very strongly, which kind of represents this new strength and energy that we're feeling as a network. And yeah.
The words that the awareness tokens that came out that gave me this incentive were boldness and efficiency. And you may be able to guess what the song is, and I'd like you to join in if you know it. And whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Just begin it. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Just begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Just begin it. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Just begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Just begin it. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Just begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Begin it!
Thank you, everyone. If you'd like to just maybe sit in the front rows there. And where did the other microphone go? Great. Okay. So Dominique and I can just run around with microphones, and I don't know, is there anything anybody would like to ask? Or and then you might address it to a particular RP, and we'll do our best to respond. So is there anything anything at all? Would you like to say something more?
I have here a bag of bulbs, and I brought them, and I would like to give them to the community, and for you to decide where you plant them. I would very much like it if you did it in Dorothy's garden.
Judith?
I'd just like to say, I mean, I did meet up with you on Tuesday, but how lovely and how inspiring it is to hear from you all. And to think that, what, 25 of 171, as you said that, I just had this huge sense of what a lovely group it is out into the world. And yeah, just lots of gratitude. And thank you for bringing your inspiration and continuing to be inspired and take it out there. Thank you.
And one of the initiatives that's come out of this week, and I'm sure there'll be more as we kind of integrate the experience, is that we're going to set up a kind of blog page on the website, because a lot of the RPs send me news of their events and send their inspirations, and we have a closed RP Facebook group which actually came out of the last RP gathering in June 2012, And that's really helped us as a network become more engaged and connected with each other, sharing about the different events, supporting each other. And now we'd like to set up a blog page. We've spoken to, it was actually Mark's idea, Mark, our trustee, who supports us with the WordPress. So we'll kind of have a new page on the website featuring news of RP events around all over the world that are taking place. So that's a new way to kind of keep you in connection with all the work that's happening out in the world, that's being inspired by all of you, and that kind of relationship between us all. So. Okay, so before I hand over to Kathryn, actually I think there's a something before Katharina, but before we move into that phase, is there anything else that any of the RPs would like to say, or anything from any of you all that...
I'd like to ask a question. The obligatory Roger question.
Yes, I thought there might be one.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how I can frame this, but I guess my question is, obviously you represent Findhorn in the world, and I just wanted to ask if you detect any quickening of consciousness on whatever level. I suppose it could be spiritual or ecological or whatever, but I mean, do you have the sense that the world is changing at all?
I can see Manna nodding, lots of people. Judith, you'd like to respond?
Well, Roger, when I came here 20 years ago, I had studied a lot of Thomas Berry, and I remember bringing someone to visit with you and talk about possibly bringing Thomas Berry to Findhorn. But Findhorn wasn't ready, but they are now. So I see this big ecological change. The new story is happening, and we're right at the front of it. So thank you.
Thank you. There was one evening, Jacqueline Buckingham came in to join us one evening to talk about the New Story Summit, and there was a lot of engagement and I think excitement from the RPs about how they can connect with that and possibly have little groups, or so that's a strong energy there in supporting the New Story Summit. Is there anyone else that was responding to Roger's question? Yeah.
Yes, Roger, there's a great deal of happenings out there. Since that Christmas conclusion of the work, I've since been engaged by a corporate body to share what you're doing here with them in quite an involved way, insofar as having them integrate different parts of their departments and look at different ways of going forward with that process. It was a job that I initially refused because I didn't feel that ethically it was part of what I needed to do. It was a job I took on initially for 5 days a week. I am retired, but I needed something to keep myself occupied, and was grilled by the MD of the company, and until he got every ounce of information about what we do here out of me, and then still chose to employ me, which was quite a breakthrough. And I'm finding that is having a ripple effect right the way across the sort of corporate world that I've been involved with for the last 40 years or so.
Iris, did you want to add something? Oh, and I can see. Okay. Maybe Iris first.
I'm from Israel, and I feel for the last few years that there's a lot of interest in what is happening in Findhorn. Wasn't like that, but the whole Middle East is changing, collapsing, you might say, and it affects us also. And it's heartwarming to see that people are ready to look for answers in, how should I say it, the heart dimension, rather than the intellectual one of finding solutions that are more aggressive. I think people are starting to get tired of the aggressiveness and realize that after so many years it's a dead end. And there is much more openness, and I actually feel it, much more openness to listen. I'm not saying that we're transforming ourselves to a second Findhorn yet, but there is a lot of openness now. It's a good timing.
My work brings me a little bit throughout Europe, France, and of late also back to where my roots are. And I'm finding that the tumult and the chaos is fertile ground. The new energies are starting to circulate and people are opening up. It's inspiring to witness. So absolutely, wherever I go, I see the quickening, but I can speak specifically to France and to New York, and it's way cool.
New York?
Yes.
And over the last 15 years in New Zealand, I've been involved in community organisations, grassroots organisations, and they've been joining together, joining forces, so that they're sharing resources and they're planning and organising themselves in ways where they're cooperating and to quite a high degree, and also open to community building activities. So I've been able to use attunements and those sorts of things with the groups when we've been meeting, and I think the goodwill and the willingness to actually work together, even though they have to work through differences, is really growing, and it's working.
So maybe we can just have one or two more responses before we move into the next phase. So Dennis?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. In the south of France, what I sense, or see, actually there was a lot of transition town movement there in many small towns. And I think people are just getting frustrated with the political situation, whether it's socialist or conservative, is going to move nothing. And people are starting to take control by getting rid of their the old establishment ideas and trying new things and taking the power in their own hands. It's the old say. Well, the saying is, we are the people we've been waiting for, and I'm seeing that in France.
Okay, so who else wanted to respond? Okay, so maybe Haniel, we can finish.
Just wanted to say that I've been in Greece now for 18 months, and so I arrived really in the middle of the crisis. And then we don't speak about it anymore, it's not front page news, but Greeks are very courageous and working really hard and finding different ways. And in a way, you hear Greeks going back to values that they had maybe forgotten, and working more together in communities and looking at what they can share, what they can barter, and even say that the crisis was necessary to bring back a feeling of togetherness that they had lost. But having said that, Greeks are still very struggling and there are tragedies. But as you possibly know, they also share with Findhorn the love of dance and singing and laughter, and that really is bringing the community essence, strengths.
Thank you for the question, Roger, and the following responses from you. So I'm now going to pass over to Kathryn, and she'll explain the next part of our evening. Thank you.
So thank you very much. I just really feel inspired by these global citizens, and knowing that there are 170 out in the world, it's even more beautiful. So it's a wonderful beginning to celebrate the diversity of humanity by doing a peace prayer ceremony where we just can reach into the heart and the soul of humanity and draw forth that aspect which reaches into eternity, which is unifying, which is before separation, divine essence itself. And we have here the flags which represent all the different nations which are recognized by the United Nations. And they have been handmade by a group of Japanese members of a peace organization, which did it by hand and prayed over them while they were making it. It took them about a year, and they have gifted this set to Findhorn. And the peace prayer ceremony will name all the different countries around the world, and we will have these big flags as a backdrop and use small cards like this. With logistic-wise, it was much easier to do. I have tried different things, but it was too complicated. So the flags are not used as a political symbol, but as a focal point for the angelic beings, the overlighting beings of the countries which hold in their awareness the totality of what is happening there. Nature, the relationships between humans, between all these different races, between all different religious expressions. So there is no separation within that. It holds the well-being and the awakening of all different expressions of life within that country. And when we call out this country, then we are using our physical bodies to call forth the presence of peace and harmony from the very soul of humanity within this country and see it manifest itself. And lovingly and compassionately embrace and accept whatever is going on in these countries, but really call forth the potential of awakening and the divine essence at the core of our creation.
Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground.
So I invite you to just have a moment of stillness in which we invite the soul of humanity to come present, the spirit of the earth, and her many, many beautiful creations
the many layers of the invisible world which work alongside us, the guardians of the earth, the Devi kingdom, the elemental kingdom, the spirit of the earth, of water, of fire, of air, the spirit of peace, and the love of God. And we just invite the beings who support the flow and the blessing and the creation of these blessings through this ritual of the peace prayer ceremony. Bring forth the angels of the different nations, the angels of the continents. And we will begin with the continent of Oceania, of the Pacific Islands. And I invite Vera and David to sing a song to help us to bring these nations present. Peace prevails on earth.
Tonga. New Zealand. Okay. Samoa. Fiji. Kiribati. Tuvalu.
New Zealand. Papua New Guinea, Micronesia.
Nauru, Solomon Islands, and the Marshall Islands.
Vanuatu, Palau, Australia.
Peace prevails on earth. Peace prevails in Oceania. So let's just take a moment to open our hearts and welcome the guardians of North, Middle, and South America. Peace prevails on earth.
Chile, Colombia, Argentina Republic, Brazil, Paraguay, Ecuador,
Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, Uruguay, Bolivia, Peru,
Trinidad and Tobago, Guatemala, Grenadines, Grenada, Barbados, Jamaica.
Peace prevails on earth.
Canada.
De Bahamas, Santa Lucia, El Salvador, Dominican Republic,
San Christopher and Nevis, Belize, Panama, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, United States of America.
Costa Rica, Cuba, México, Honduras, Nicaragua, Haiti.
Peace prevails on earth. So now let's open our hearts to the continent of Asia. And welcome the guardians of the different nations. And the multitude of life which is expressing it there. Okay, David and Vera.
This one you can join in if you want. It's very simple. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha.
Peace prevails in Asia.
India, Vietnam, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Brunei Darussalam.
Ukraine, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan,
South Korea, Cambodia, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Turkmenistan,
Russian Federation, Tajikistan, Georgia, and Japan.
Myanmar, China, the Philippines, Taiwan, Mongolia,
North Korea, Indonesia, Uzbekistan, Laos, East Timor,
Bhutan, Thailand, Nepal, Afghanistan, Singapore.
When the bell rings,
Peace
prevails on earth. So let's open our hearts to welcome the guardians of the countries in the Middle East and in Africa and bring them present within our midst. prevails. Peace prevails in the Middle East and Africa.
State of Qatar, Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, Syria, Iran, Egypt,
Lebanon, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, State of Kuwait,
Côte d'Ivoire, Guinea-Bissau, Ghana, Togo, Sudan, South Sudan, Morocco, Chad, Malawi, Tunisia, Cape Verde, en Mauritanië,
Tanzania, Swaziland, Namibia, Ethiopia, Benin, Sierra Leone.
Peace prevails on earth.
Libya, Bahrain, Iraq, Oman, Palestine, Israel,
Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Maldives, Zambia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Lesotho,
Somalia, Senegal, South Africa, Botswana, the Comoros, Sao Tome and Principe.
Peace prevails on earth.
Madagascar, Angola, Kenya, Djibouti, Cameroon, Rwanda, Mali, Uganda, Eritrea, Niger, Mozambique, Burundi,
Seychelles, Equatorial Guinea, Congo, the Republic of Congo, I'm mistaken, and Gambia, and Burkina Faso.
And the Seychelles, I didn't throw the flag, so it's double more. Double best.
Algeria, Central African Republic, Gabon, Mauritius, Guinea, Liberia.
Peace prevails on earth. Okay, let's just take a moment to welcome the guardians of the European countries. Open our hearts to their presence and the divinity of life which is expressing itself within it. Peace prevails on earth. Peace prevails in the European countries.
The Kosovo, Czech Republic, Finland, Germany,
Liechtenstein, Monaco, Latvia, United Kingdom, San Marino, Slovakia, Belarus, Andorra, Denmark,
Montenegro, Iceland, Macedonia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Ireland,
Austria, Luxembourg, Croatia, Malta, Belgium.
Lithuania, Slovenia, Poland, the Netherlands.
Peace prevails on earth.
Norway, Spain,
Serbia.
Romania, Bulgaria, Estonia, Turkey, Greece, Portugal, Albania, Cyprus, Sweden,
Moldova, Vatican State, Hungary, Switzerland, France.
Peace prevails on earth. Peace prevails in the European countries. We will just acknowledge with one card which says all the other regions of the world, all the parts which have not been named, which like to be named, and the oceans, and all aspects of nature which would like to be present here, the South Pole, the North Pole, and the great spirits of nature. Peace prevails in all the other regions of the world. Peace prevails in all the other regions of the world. So I invite us to just hold a moment of silence. To acknowledge the beauty and that beautiful kaleidoscope of humanity which is present. See the hearts open, their souls unfold. Reaching into eternity, into oneness. Bringing forth a creative spirit which is creating a civilization which is in attunement and alignment with the divine essence, which is seeking expression throughout all of creation. Let us affirm that peace and harmony is manifesting and is present on earth. And see our prayers flow out from here as a blessing to wherever it is needed most. And with gratitude for the inner guardians which have joined us and for each other, let's complete this ceremony. Peace prevails on earth.
Te
So in silence, let's feel this harmony in our hearts. And let's visualize these blessings extending all around the planet, throughout the network of light, reaching all beings, wherever they may be. And let's send our blessings with our visiting resource people as they make their transitions back to their home countries and their home communities, sharing the spirit of Findhorn with them. And may we all share this essence in our hearts, in every moment, breath by breath, as we strengthen our global family by our very being. And blessings and good night. Thank you. Hugs all around.